Good morning guys, a Wednesday wake-up call for you here with me, Coach David. Week 2 of September. I hope you're having a great month and hopefully a good start to this week. The theme this week is very much about stepping it up. Okay, so what do we mean by that? We're talking about making things a little bit tougher for ourselves, taking those initial week 1 volumes and new exercises, all that stuff we've learned, and we're going to start to use that in a more productive and maybe a slightly tougher way. So my challenge to you this week is, if you haven't already, to start in hard on at least one of the exercises in each session that you do this week. Okay, so if you're not sure how to do that, speak to a coach about whether it's time to move up the weights or increase the volumes, or maybe work on your technique to go that slight bit further than you did last time. We're all about progression here, as I'm sure you know at Results Sync, and every little step that takes you forward is progression, and we just want to make sure those steps, however small they are, keep coming consistently through the weeks and months. Okay, so in that spirit, what I'm going to do today is go through in greater detail one of the warm-up exercises. So the warm-ups are shared by all the gyms, so you'll all have had a go at these probably by now. And the one I like the most, but can sometimes be the most overlooked, is the wall slide. Okay, so I'm going to take you through that and explain a little bit about why we do it and how to do it the best you can. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. You should be able to see me against this wall. First of all, it is a fantastic warm-up exercise. It's also really good for mobility. Shoulder mobility is really important. And it's also really good actually for increasing and improving the quality of our overhead lifts. So if you're doing any single arm or double arm overhead pressing, this is one of the core principles behind it. Strengthen this, and the control in those movements is going to be much better. Okay. One other thing I should mention, which is often overlooked, is that it's also great for posture. So we don't want this kind of posture in life. We want to get back into that natural posture that we've developed over millions of years. Okay. Taking us long enough to stand upright, let's not let the side down now. Okay. So to start off with, we're going to get into position. So arms up either side of the body, okay, like you're going to surrender. With this position, I want you to relax the neck and the trap muscles here at the top of the shoulders, okay, so just give them a little bit of a shake off and let them relax. We're going to try and avoid shrugging up as we reach the arms overhead. We don't want those muscles, having relaxed them, to then tense up again. So try not to let everything kind of creep up together and kind of shoulders to earlobes way. Okay, we're going to flatten the back against the wall. I'm about 12 to 15 inches forward of the wall where my feet are stood, and that's going to help us keep that back nice and flat. In turn, that is going to help us depress the rib cage and keep that nice and tight. You might even feel the abdominals engage a little bit. Okay, now what that's going to do, it's going to make it a little bit tougher if, like me, you do struggle with shoulder mobility. It might make it a little bit tougher to get those arms all the way back. Now, I could get my arms back, but what I'd have to do is sacrifice and give up some of that control in the lower back and the core. So I'd be talking about that kind of position. Now that's what we want to avoid, because that is not doing anything for all those important factors that we've listed already. It's just going through the motions. It looks about right, but it's really not doing you any good. Okay, so lower back flat against the wall, rib cage down, arms up to the side. Now you can see my shoulders aren't getting back to the wall, and I thought, should I show this exercise? I'm not great at it, but actually yes, everyone should be doing this, especially people in my position who need that work doing. Okay, so once we're into that position, we're simply going to reach up and then pull back down again. Okay, so however far back your hands are, that's as far back as they'll go. As long as we're keeping that back flat on the floor, flat on the wall, I should say, we are going to get some really good development out of this movement. So as you reach up, breathe in, and as you pull down, breathe out. Now see how comfortable that feels for you. One thing that's quite often overlooked and a bit neglected is that downward motion, because it feels like returning back to the start point, but in fact it's really important as you pull down to squeeze the shoulder blades together and really engage all those muscles down the lower part of the shoulders at the back. Okay, so we're here, we've got our arms back, we've got our lower back flat against the wall, we reach up, we pull down and squeeze at the bottom. Now, If you're doing these right, and I trust having watched this video you all will be, you will get a little bit of sweat on doing those. It is tough. You should feel a good stretch at the top. It should be just as engaging and challenging at the bottom. If you're not, ask a coach to come and check your form and give you those little tips and hints as to how to do it as best we possibly can. Sound good? I thought so. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Have a great Wednesday and the rest of your week. Be good.